Here we'll do another example with rates and compound units. We're given that a merry-go-round spins 10 revolutions per minute, and asked how many degrees does it spin per second. Let's look to the end of this sentence and notice that it's asking for degrees and seconds, with a per in between. For that reason, we'll say that our answer must be degrees. The per stands for a division sign, and then we'll also need seconds. Part A of this question will be finding the degrees, and part B of this question will be finding the number of seconds. Let's begin by writing that part A will be our degrees. There is a piece of information in the problem that will lead us to degrees. It's the fact that we are given 10 revolutions. Using 10 revolutions, we could find a way to get degrees. Part B of this question will be finding the seconds. Notice that we are given 10 revolutions per minute, and minutes are a way to measure time. We can use this amount of time, the minute, and try to relate that to seconds. So for part A of this question, we'll change the 10 revolutions to degrees, and for part B of this question, we'll relate the minutes to seconds. Let's start with part A and write down that we have 10 revolutions. We'll multiply this by a fraction to change this to degrees. To try to relate revolutions to degrees, let's imagine a circle. Let's imagine something spinning around in a circle. You might know that spinning halfway around a circle would give us 180 degrees, but spinning all the way around the circle to get back where you started would be 360 degrees. This means that one revolution is 360 degrees. Since we want to have degrees at the end of part A, we'll put degrees on top. Since we started with revolutions at the beginning of part A, that will go to the bottom. Since one revolution is 360 degrees, we'll place 1 next to revolutions and 360 next to degrees. Then we take 10, multiply by 360. And you can say divide by 1. It won't hurt anything if you do. Let's go to the calculator now. We take 10 and multiply by 360. When we press enter, we get 3,600. We'll note that this 3,600 must be degrees. This is because the revolutions will cancel out since you started with revolutions and put revolutions on the bottom. This will be our answer for part A. Now we'll find our number of seconds. We're going to base our seconds on the number of minutes we have. Notice that there is no number next to minutes. If a problem ever fails to give you a number next to any of your units, we'll let that number be the invisible 1. We'll write 1 minute, and then we'll multiply that by a fraction. Since we want to find seconds, we'll place that on the top. This will cancel out minutes because we started with minutes and we have minutes on the bottom. This will leave us with only seconds as part of our answer. We also know that 1 minute is the same as 60 seconds. For that reason, we'll place 1 next to minutes. Minutes was on the bottom, so 1 will go there. This means the 60 must go next to seconds. So this means we take 1 times 60 divided by 1. Dividing by 1 will not change your answer, but also multiplying by 1 will also not change your answer. This means that we have 60 seconds. This will be our answer for part B. For our final step, we'll take A divided by B. Answer A was 3,600. We'll write that this is degrees. This is divided by our 60 seconds. Now we go to the calculator and do the division. With the 3,600 already stored in the calculator, we'll now say divide by 60. When we press enter, we still get 60. So when we do this division, we'll end up with 60 degrees per second. So we've changed the speed at which the merry-go-round spins from 10 revolutions per minute to 60 degrees per second.